All right. What's up, everyone? Happy Monday. My name is Mike Nardi. On this YouTube channel, as many of you know, we talk about a lot of different things: Fiverr, freelancing, side hustles, making money online, copywriting, things like that. So this live stream is actually one I'm going to put up like a slide deck, a PowerPoint presentation. It's one where I'm going to go through some sales tips. So I've been making videos about how people can make money online for about 4 years now. I have copywriting tutorials that people really like. I do, Fiverr tips videos, and they seem to be really helpful. But one thing that I realized in 2023 that I felt I needed to focus on a lot more to, help you guys the best I could has to do around sales. What sales is, how to do sales the right way, misconceptions about sales, sales tips, how to close deals, how to negotiate, how to get the best price, how to avoid giving big discounts. There's so much about the whole art of sales that I feel like a lot of freelancers, specifically people who sell on sites like Fiverr, might be missing out on, or who don't have experience in, to allow them to actually succeed and thrive and win the deals they need to win. So that's what this video is going to be about. I have about 15 slides prepared, focused around negotiation, specifically the fact that I think a lot of people watching this probably have the absolute wrong idea when it comes to what negotiation is meant to do for you, what it means, what you should be focused on, and what a successful negotiation looks like. So I'm going to share my screen in just a minute. I'm going to give it a minute or so for, some more people to file in. I'm streaming on Twitter for the first time along with YouTube today. So that seems to be working okay. But yeah, so let's go into the chat and say what's up to who's here so far. So we got Sneedmaster37. He says, happy Monday, Mr. Nardi. Happy Monday. Welcome to the stream. And we got David D. David said, I be here from the wilderness where internet goes down 4 days at a time. Will my location affect what you're conveying? If you can hear what I'm saying and it makes sense to you, then I don't think so. All right, so let me just figure out how to share this presentation and I will get started for you guys. Perfect. Really quick, Towski, hey, what's up? Nice to see you. You attend all these streams. I love seeing you here. Thanks for being here. All right. So, secret to sales, like I've mentioned, this is a sales tips live stream. The goal of this stream is to talk about the act of negotiation, how to do it better. And I want to share with you some realistic expectations you should have and goals you should have when you're negotiating with people to help give you the best possible chance of getting a client, getting the best price, and actually growing a sustainable business here. All right, so I kind of alluded to this, but odds are if you're watching this live stream and you've never had a sales job before, you're probably thinking about negotiation all wrong. And this isn't to be mean, but that's just the facts. Negotiation's about price, right? Is that what you think negotiation's about? Negotiation is not all about price. And that's kind of where I wanted to start things off. Most people who think about selling something online, who think about negotiation, are hyper focused on how they can get the deal by offering the lowest price. And they think that the negotiation going back and forth with their clients is all about you as the freelancer trying to sell them at the highest price while giving away the least amount of discount possible. But the reality is that price is actually the least compelling reason to buy. So what does that mean? So let's say you're selling something or trying to sell something to somebody, right? Yeah, so I just see in the chat, negotiation isn't about price. price is part of negotiation, but I'll get into what I mean in a couple of slides. So price is actually the least compelling reason to buy. So what that means is when you're trying to sell something to someone, either you've reached out to them, like you've identified them as a potential customer and you're trying to pitch them your services and convince them to hire you, or they've found you on a site like Fiverr. They see that you offer a particular service and they reach out to you to see what you're all about. In that whole process, right? If you're just focused on, I'm the lowest price, I'm the lowest price, I'm the lowest price, that's weak. A more compelling reason to buy and a reason that more people buy has to actually do with how you can help them, the pain points you can help them solve, or the benefits you can give their business. So this is a little bit of a long slide, but a great one to kind of screenshot. If you approach the idea of negotiating as if it's about scoring a deal for the highest possible price or preventing a big discount from being given, you're probably already going to lose that negotiation and give up more than you need to in that negotiation. You're probably going to give a much bigger discount. You're probably going to get bullied around the deal. It's not going to be a mutually beneficial relationship, or at least not as mutually beneficial as it should be. So a negotiation that's solely focused on price is likely a negotiation where you haven't done a good enough job showing your value to a potential client. So I talk about this a lot, and this is the key, a big key to sales as a freelancer and in other businesses is your value. Your value and the value that people perceive you to have when they're trying to hire you has very little to do with the price that you're selling your services for. Your value is based on, any sort of competitive differentiators that you've made known, your experience, what you can actually help them with, how much easier their life's going to be if they hire you. Maybe their company gets acquired if they hire you. Maybe they win more deals if they hire you. Maybe their customers are more happy. Those things are, better indicators of your value as a freelancer for a particular business than price. Price has nothing to do with what they're going to do with your work after they've hired you. All that is an interaction between you and them where they're trying to get you to do a service and they're trying to beat you down on price to save costs. But that actually doesn't really affect the value that they're getting. Sure, you could argue that, ROI matters. And if they're hiring you for $1,000 and they don't make back $1,000, that's bad value. Sure. But I'm talking about value in the sense of what you're communicating to actually win the deal, the value you're showing yourself to have that will even make pricing relevant. So here's the ideal situation, right? If you find yourself chatting with a client and you sense a negotiation's coming, price has been discussed, this is kind of the goal situation you should be aiming for. It's a situation where you've been able to talk about your client's business. You've talked about their needs. You understand why they're buying or hiring you, and you understand who's doing the buying. Is it the CEO? Is it an assistant? Who's purchasing from you? Who's making the decision? It's a situation where you have all of the possible information about the client and this potential deal. So I'll go back. This is the ideal situation. The ideal situation is one where you don't get sucked into the trap of just talking about price. Before price even comes up and before you entertain price seriously as a part of the conversation, you need to make sure you know everything you need to know about their business. What do they sell? Who do they sell to? Why do they sell? Why are they hiring you? You got to understand what the reason they're buying is. So every company that goes out to hire someone, goes out to buy something, software, a freelancer, there's an event that happens, an inciting incident that has happened that has caused them to want to do that. Maybe the freelancer they've been working with in the past is no longer working with them. And if you uncover that information, you need to figure out why that was the case. Was the company tough to work with? Did the freelancer do something wrong? You got to figure out who's doing the buying. So what that means is the person you're talking to the person who can decide on whether or not they'll actually spend the money and hire you? That's important because if you're a freelancer who sells a very complex, expensive type of service that can take weeks or months to complete, it's very important that you know who you can call up or email if things start to go south, if it starts to feel like they're not going to hire you. So this is the ideal situation. You're not negotiating on price, but instead you're creating a conversation where you're talking about their business and their needs. And in this situation, this is going to sound crazy. Price actually doesn't really matter. Here's what matters: the client need, the client's pain points, their reason for buying, and your ability to address their needs, pain points, and their reasons for buying. So this is going to sound crazy for a lot of you. Price doesn't matter if you can drive the conversation to focus around these things. If you can have a great conversation about their needs, their pain points, their reasons for buying, and how you can address those needs, price almost becomes a formality because these things are more important. They're hiring you because they have a business to run. They want to grow that business. They want to scale that business. If you can show that you can provide a value above and beyond just, a dollar figure, it's going to be a much smoother sales cycle. It's going to be a much smoother negotiation. They're not going to beat you down on price like you're a vendor at a flea market. They're going to respect your price and actually perceive it to be, offering something of value to them. And this is a concept I'll go into in more as I do more of these types of sales tips videos. But yeah, that's a big concept. You want to delay talking about price as much as you can until you've first had a chance to talk about these things: their business, why they're hiring you, how you can help, things like that. And that's what I just mentioned. So price can be a formality, right? A lot of the times, as someone who's done sales for a while, if I notice that the conversation I'm having with a potential customer has turned to one that's heavily focused on price, and I feel that I don't know enough about the business or why they're hiring me or whether I have a good chance of winning the deal, at that moment, I know that I did something wrong. At that moment, I know that I kind of went down the path of commoditizing my service, which if you're making your service something where they're looking at it as service and then a line item of how much it costs, you're already on the wrong path. Your goal should be to pull back that conversation. And if they're talking about price, say something like, yeah, you know what, happy to discuss price, but before we can, get an accurate idea of what this is actually going to cost, I need to know more about your business, what you're looking for in a project, what you're looking for in a freelancer, and anything else that might help me accurately quote this and be able to understand whether I can do this. You can do that and drive the conversation that way. Price isn't this huge thing that's going to trip you up anymore. So truly great salespeople are able to redirect the conversation from one that's about price to one that's about the things I just mentioned. And this is where a little bit of nuance comes in. It takes skill to do this, but practice makes perfect. So like I just mentioned, if someone messages you, this is really common on Fiverr for some freelancers, and the first message you get is, what's your best price? Your response should have no pricing information. Your response should be, hey, thanks for the message. Can you tell me more about your project? I don't even know what we're talking about. What am I pricing you on? Right? I know that for a lot of people, that can be a little scary because when someone messages you on Fiverr or any freelance site, and they are indicating that they might want to hire you, yeah, we want to get the deal. We're excited. We don't want to screw it up. You should just give them the price, right? No, believe it or not, that's going to hurt you because there's situations where if someone's messaging you and just says, hey, what's your best price? There's a chance they just take whatever price you gave them and they go to another freelancer and they say, hey, this person's offering to do it for $100. You said it would be $200. Can you beat their price? So now they're just using you to get a better price somewhere else. And that's not good for you. That's not good for the other freelancer because, like I just mentioned, neither of you are going to be selling on price in this situation or on value in this situation. Another situation where this could come up is, if you've gotten them to chat about what they need, you've gotten them to tell you about their business, and they say, okay, give me a quote. You give them a quote, and they see the price and they immediately say, oh, it's too much. It's not going to work. We can't afford it. In that situation, that's another kind of trap where they might be trying to get you to give them a discount. You don't want to go into the mode of, okay, it's too expensive. How much can you afford? You know, because then you're going back to just focusing on price. Your service doesn't matter in that situation. So if you give someone a quote and they say, "Thank you for the quote. That's too expensive. Can you do better?" And this is again where it takes practice. Bring the conversation back to talking about the project. Say something like, "Oh, okay, just so we're on the same page, I was of the understanding you needed this, 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 and this," right? So go over what they've already told you. And then you say something like, "Okay, and the reason you need this, 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 and this is to help you improve on this, 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 and this." And they say, "Yeah, that's what we need." And you say, "Okay, what I quoted you on is what you need to accomplish those things through working with me. So can you let me know, did I maybe include something here that you don't actually need? Can I start stripping away parts of the deal?" That's a very common thing you can do to kind of call them on their bluff. Because odds are people who are asking you for a discount in this way, they don't want to get less from you. They just want to pay less. But you need to bring the conversation back to, okay, you've told me you need this because you need help with this, or you're working on this project. If you want to accomplish those things, I can totally help you. These are the things that I can offer you that will help you with that. And this is the cost. If it's too expensive for you, that's kind of unfortunate because I know this will really help you, but maybe we can look at things that you don't actually need and we can remove some things and maybe I can lower the price. More than 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, no, 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 we don't want to remove anything. Those are the things we actually need. Let's move forward or let's figure something out. And if you get to that point, now they're actually negotiating with you and they're not just trying to bully you on price. But you never want to get into a situation where they bring up that something's too expensive or they want a discount and you just hyper focus on that, because that eliminates any of the value or the perception of value you've built up until that point as you've spoken to them about your services, right? The whole goal of selling them is up until they hit buy and they give you money, you're trying to get them to trust you. And the best way to do that is to get them to understand that you really care about their business, why they're hiring you, and you respect their time. So if you go through these steps, asking them questions about their business, trying to kind of draw connections between their business and how you can help, and eventually build up to getting them a price, it's a lot more of a sticky thing versus if someone just messages you and says, "What's your best price?" and you hit them up with a price out of the blue without knowing anything about their business. And I will go into this in greater detail in future videos. This is just kind of the first step, one of the first time I'm talking about this with you people, to just get you guys into the train of thought that this is normal. It's okay to not want to talk about price right away. It's okay to not want to, throw discounts around like they're going out of style. This is how you get to the point where you're selling bigger deals and getting clients who are actually going to respect you and keep coming back for more. So we talked about this. So truly great salespeople are able to redirect the conversation from one about price to one about the things we just mentioned. And a reminder, what are those things? If you're ever in doubt, save this slide. If they ask you about price and you feel you're not ready to give them a price yet, ask them questions about what they actually need, like their business, what this will help them with. Ask them about things around this type of project that maybe aren't going so well. Maybe they hired someone in the past, it didn't work out. Ask them what would happen if they didn't hire you. Like if they didn't hire you, would there be a negative impact on their business? That is a super powerful negotiation chip, because if you realize that if they don't hire you, they're going to miss a deadline, they kind of need to hire you, and you should not at all even entertain conversations around discounts. Instead, you should really focus on how can we help you hit that deadline, and then you can preserve your price. You focus on their reason for buying, right? Asking questions about that. Like if they go down the path and they're like, "Okay, just tell me your best price." You say, "Okay, listen, I want to give you a price, but can you just remind me, what sparked this search for a freelancer? What's the broader project here? Help me understand so I can best align myself to helping you and give you the price for a service that will best align with what you need help with." So always turn it around on them. Get them to give you more information. And the last thing is, through all of this, talking about their needs, their pain points, and their reasons for buying, You need to be able to kind of work into the conversation how you can address those needs, you can fix those pain points, and you can help with their reason for buying. It's an art form. You have to build it into a conversation. You can't do this as a robot, but you have to try, because I see way too many people get asked what their best price is or get asked for a discount and they just give it, and you're just losing. And over, a year, 5 years, 10 years of doing this and working in a business, it's going to make it really hard for you to grow and become, grow a business that's going to be really sustainable and bring in a lot of revenue. Because if you're just constantly accepting requests to give a discount, the only way for you to make more money is to do more work, do more projects, do more hours at lower pay. No, that's not what you want. You want to sell based on value so you can inflate the price up to match the value and work only as long as you need to work to deliver that value. Who doesn't want that? All right, so that's it for the slides. I'm going to go into some gig reviews now, but before I do that, any questions? I see there's just a few of you in the chat. Sneedmaster said it's a good tip. Does this make sense? Is this something that you guys think you can work into your conversations? Are these kind of questions that you're getting? Like, what is your best price? How can you help me? How can you give me a discount? Do you run into these? And if you do, let me know in the chat. I'd love to help you with situations that you're facing yourself. So yeah, price. Let me minimize this. I'm going to do a couple of gig reviews while we wait for questions to come in. Okay. All right. So we'll wait. If anyone has questions on the sales presentation, on negotiation, let me know. I know it might be a lot if you've never thought about this stuff in the past. And yeah, Peter, I have time, and I only have a few queued up. So just put your Fiverr username in the chat, and I'll pull it up on the screen and I'll review it for you. So first one up here is Alif Hassan. I haven't done these in a while, so if you're just watching these for the first time, the first thing I always look at is headshot. You're selling to people, you're doing business with people. Get a nice headshot done of yourself. It goes a long, long way. So client satisfaction is my first priority. That's fine. Normally, I like to see a little something about the type of service you offer up here, but that's fine. I'm a professional digital marketer with over 2 years of experience. I'm also working as a data entry operator with over 3 years of experience. My aim has always been to produce websites that look beautiful and professional, are highly functional, load quickly, and are search engine optimized. If this is what you want, then get in touch with me. I will give you my best services with my great experience. I will always follow my respected clients' instructions. Thank you. Okay. So from here down, awesome, relevant. You want to build websites. You want to make sure they're SEO optimized. Great. This part here, I get it. That's your work experience, but it's kind of not relevant to selling website design. Just my 2 cents. I guess we'll go with this one. I will write. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So this is a good tip. So there's a bit of a disconnect between the gigs you're actually offering and what your profile says you want to offer. Your aim has always to be to produce websites that look beautiful, professional, are highly functional, and load quickly. But then I look at your gigs and it's mainly, blog writing, article writing, blog writing, and data entry. You don't have a web design gig. So it might help you to, include some of the skills you're actually selling in your gigs in this description, because this is heavily focused on web design, but none of this has anything to do with web design. So that's just a quick tip. All right, so I will write digital marketing blogs and articles. So I'm curious, do you mean blogs on the topic of digital marketing or blogs that are intended to help with digital marketing through SEO? Let's see, we're going to find out. So why bother putting your good deals in blog entries and articles that enhance your crowd's lives? In excess of 7 million blog entries distributed each and every day, organizations find it incredibly hard to accomplish the much wanted number one situation on the search engine ranking page for important keywords, not watchwords. Additionally, to produce top-notch leads and convert them into paying clients, it's basic to distribute content pieces that attention on your crowd's trouble spots and convey them a real answer to their concerns. It's time I helped you out. With 2 long stretches of active digital marketing experience, I will convey top-level, vigorously investigated, and exceptionally captivating digital marketing blog entries and articles that won't just assist you with supporting your internet search rankings, yet additionally position you as a genuine industry master. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I thought. So interesting. So the description is okay. It's a little off, like the grammar is not perfect. But my hunch when seeing this seems to be the case. So it looks like this is just a gig where you're focused on writing blogs that rank, but about no topic in particular. And that's fine. But I think it would really help you out if you did have gigs that were focused on something, like blogs about fitness, blogs about tech, gear reviews, whatever it is. This is just very vague, right? It's really focused on, the background of how important it is to, appear in Google search pages and blogs, I guess, to produce leads and help convert to paying clients, but it's just a little bit wishy-washy and not super pointed. I would try to make the gig a little bit more targeted towards a specific type of blog writing services that you can imagine businesses might be looking for. But anyways, not bad. Little bit of work to do on that one. I hope that was helpful. Let's take one from the chat here. Let's start with Peter. Hey, Finn, nice to see you. And we're going to review Peter. So give me a sec while I pull that up. Got him. Okay. Let me pull you up. Just bear with me. All right, we got our friend Peter. Awesome headshot. Looks like this is actually a professional headshot. He's in a suit or a really nice wedding photo. Really nice. American actor in Paris. Okay, cool. So just from that, I'm going to kind of assume it's going to be something along the lines of spokesperson. I like that. I'm an American actor based in Paris, France, with professional television, commercial, and movie credits to my name, as well as theater performances. I offer top-notch voiceovers for clients all over the world, fluent in English, French, and German. Wow. I also work as a translator and writer. I specialize in explainer videos, commercial voiceover, corporate training, phone jingles, and documentary. Amazing. I always, give people a hard time about not using the full amount of space that you can in the profile description section. And he hasn't, but he's done a great job. He's given exactly what the person watching this needs to know to have confidence in what Peter does, how he can help, in his experience. So I think this is a fantastic description, and it's really impressive that you speak 3 languages fluently. So, we'll start with this gig here. Obviously, it's your better performing gig. Just for the sake of the stream in YouTube, I don't play gig videos in these live, just in case there's, royal, like, licensed music on it that could get me a slap in the wrist on YouTube. But we'll go over everything else. So I will be your video spokesperson on YouTube and social media. I think that's straightforward. I think it's a good title. Video spokesperson is the focus keyword. And then YouTube and social media are kind of the identifiers that help people understand where his work would be applicable. Okay. So about this gig. Hey, I'm Greg, a professional actor, video presenter, and voice talent. If you need a charismatic and relatable spokesperson for your YouTube videos, you've come to the right place. I help companies and individuals create real connections with their audiences, thereby helping them grow their audience quickly and sustainably. This gig gets you high quality video filmed in a professional studio, studio quality sound, professional lighting, choice of wardrobe, business schedule, laid back, etc., and video editing, infographics, logo, and music. I work closely with my clients to determine the right tone, visuals, wardrobe to create a total 360-degree buyer experience. That's nice. Try out a video to see how my presentation skills can boost your channel. After, we can discuss prices for weekly or monthly videos. Try out a video. I guess you mean like maybe check this out, or do you mean like a trial project? That's kind of the only area that's a little ambiguous to me. Let's work together to create magic for your viewers, whether that's on YouTube, explainer videos, product pitches, e-learning environment. I can help you create something amazing. Still on the fence, that's awesome. Still on the fence, save my profile by clicking the star above. I don't see anyone doing that, but that's a great way of kind of building, future leads by people having you save. Greg, I think this is an awesome gig. I'm going to assume the quality of this video is good. That's what it should be if that's kind of part of your portfolio. But your gig description is bang on. It gives kind of your social proof, your professional actor. I like that you've used the highlighting function to kind of highlight different aspects of your gig that, might be real selling points for people. And it's great. Only thing maybe you want to add is, high video quality. Is it 4K? Is it 1080p? Is it 6K? I don't know. It's not a huge deal, but it might help by just having that there. It mentions here 1080p. Okay. Yeah, I think this is great. Let's see your pricing here. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think this is a great gig, man. Really professional looking profile. I remember since 2021. I wonder if you've been doing any like actual prospecting. It seems like there's orders in the queue. This seems like a great gig that I think will probably pick up over time. But like I preach in a lot of my videos, if you have the bandwidth, actually reaching out to companies and trying to sell would really help accelerate how many reviews and orders you're getting on a gig like this, because all the pieces are here. This is a very professional looking gig. I feel confident about it just looking at it. I think you could really, score some deals if you actually reached out to some clients. But it's just a thought. All right. So before we go to the next one, I'm just going to pop into the chat. Oh, sorry, Peter. I'm just seeing this now. Maybe I'll catch it at the end if there's some time. All right. So next up, we're going to do Finn Fiverr. Alien. Okay, let me share my screen. All right. Beautiful headshot. I love it. WordPress pain relief. I think that is such a clever profile header. That's amazing. Okay. So let's go to the description. She's got a lot of, this is great. Like if any of you have done Learn courses, obviously the more stuff you can show here, the better. She's also kind of listed some of the clients she's worked with. This is a kind of a big underutilized area. So I personally don't use this because you need to ask your clients for permission to put them up there, or at least, that's how I feel I should go about it. But if you can, and if you had a great experience with a client and you ask them, hey, can I share you in the Among My Clients section on Fiverr? It's a great way for me to show, people that I've worked with, but also it's exposure for your business. They might say yes, and then you can kind of put them up there. I think that's great. Okay, so description. Hi, I'm Finn, a WordPress tech fueled by 85% dark chocolate, caffeine, and broccoli. I think that's great. I specialize in IT pain relief for people who have more important things to do than wrestle with their websites. With gigs covering advice and planning, quick start websites, memberships, learning management systems, SEO, and monthly maintenance will work together to make sense of the technology, break through the overwhelm and translate your vision into an affordable reality. Contact me now to support your business. So Finn, amazing job. So it's very timely. So you do a little bit of storytelling here. Like, it's not just a cut and dry description. There's a little bit of humor. WordPress tech fueled by 85% coffee, caffeine, and broccoli. IT pain relief is an amazingly clever way of putting this. And then you go into how you can help. I think this is a fantastic gig description. This is really, really a great job. It's actually super clever. I really like this. All right. So let me see, which one do I want to look at? Learn Dash. So that looks like an LMS. Let's go with this one. We'll just go, maybe, I don't know. Finn, do you want me to go with your most popular one? Are you in the chat still? Let's see. I'm just going to pick one. WordPress website maintenance services. Oh no. Did this happen with the last one? I opened a new tab and it didn't show. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I got to change the screen share. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like a knucklehead. Okay, there it is. Peter, I'm sorry if yours didn't show up, but I was sharing the wrong screen. Anyways, your customer this package, you'll connect with the freelancer, share details of your project. Oh, cool. Oh, that's interesting. I don't see this disclaimer with many other gigs. That's pretty cool. Okay, starting with the title, I will provide WordPress website maintenance services. So that is a great title because WordPress is one of those things for anyone watching this who's not super familiar. It's a website platform. It's one of the most popular website platforms. And, a lot of web hosting companies have, builders that are easy to use that you can set up. But most people down the road either forget or don't have the skills to maintain their website, keep it running smoothly, update pages, things like that. So WordPress website maintenance, I think, is actually a search term that a lot of people are going to be searching for. I think that's great. So WordPress maintenance from $30 in 24 hours. Okay. I like that as the thumbnail. I like this as the thumbnail because it really, just thinking out loud, it fits with a maintenance type service. People who need maintenance probably need maintenance because something went wrong. So saying that's from $30 for 24 hours is kind of indicating that she can get back to you really quickly, which, as her profile described, she solves pain, or she's a pain reliever. I forget how she put it. That's what people are probably going to be looking for. So that's a great thumbnail. Okay. So contact me before ordering to discuss your exact requirements. I think it's smart to put something like that in there, especially with WordPress maintenance, where, lack of understanding on the client's end, excuse me, might create issues if they just place an order without chatting with you first. UK based, time zone may differ. That's a good disclaimer to put as well. So let's see. Too busy to spend time tweaking things to make your website run smoothly and efficiently? Outsource your WordPress update tasks to me. So basic. So choose one task from this list. Oh, cool. Oh, I love how you've done this. Okay. So this is interesting. So she's, instead of creating a gig for each of these individual tasks, with the basic plan, people pick one. If they hire her for standard, slightly more expensive, they can choose 3, and premium is 5. So I think this is great. I was just skimming through these, sitemap, all this stuff is good stuff that most people probably don't know how to do. The one thing that is curious to me is your pricing. So for one maintenance task, it's, whatever this is American, like $35, I'm assuming it's $42 Canadian, right? For three tasks, it's 56. So that's like what, 10% more or something like that. And then for five, it goes up to 210. So this to me doesn't really make a lot of sense, and you could probably structure this in a way that works better for you. And I don't know, Finn, let me know in the comment if there's a reason to this, but typically you want each task to get cheaper the more they get. So like if basic is 40, standard might be 80 for three, and then premium would be like 110 for five, right? Like the way I would look at this is the individual price for each task should be lower the higher the package they get. And if you go to the five, this seems like these are the most expensive for five tasks. Yeah, that's the only thing I would maybe revisit is how these pricing packages work. But other than that, everything else, I think this is a really clever gig. I think your profile is super clever and kind of funny. Yeah, I would work on your pricing packages. Like it should scale in a way where the individual cost goes down, right? So five, the price per each of these five, my mind tells me should be less than the price of just one. But easy fix. Easy fix. Overall, fantastic gig and profile. All right, next up is going to be I Hear Voices. Right Now Voice is the name, so let me pull this up. Let me see if I can find you. So Right Now Voice, your profile is undiscoverable. That's strange. When I type in Right Voice Now, that's me being a little bit dyslexic there. I typed it in backwards. Sorry about that. Found it. Sorry about that. Right Voice Now. This is a cool little animated profile picture. Kind of like it. When you need a voice now. I like it. So I'm assuming this is a voiceover. Yeah, it's very clear by the name, the picture, the headline. I like it. You need a voice and you need it fast. Get the right voice right now. I've spent 30 years entertaining radio audiences. Wow. And narrating, writing, and producing award-winning radio commercials. I've also narrated hundreds of explainer videos, corporate and industrial training videos, e-learning modules, podcast intros and outros, voicemail messages, and radio imaging and promos. But 30 years of expertise to work for you, put 30 years of expertise to work for you and get the right voice right now. I think this is great. I mean, you have a lot of experience. I like that you've got this like tagline, like right voice right now. I think that's pretty cool for branding. Great description. Okay, so let's see. Oh, and yeah, for those of you joining now, by the way, before I go into his gig, the first 20 or 30 minutes of this video, I was going over a slide deck where we were talking about negotiation. So if you want to go back and watch that, you'll have it in the video. All right. So before I go into this, so Shane says, my metrics have been absolutely wrecked due to a bad private review. Got any tips for minimizing the damage? Jeez, that sucks, man. Like your profile looks great. A lot of 5-star reviews. Excuse me. I'd be curious to know, did they tell you? Like how did you know that they gave you a bad private review? That really sucks. I guess for minimizing the damage, so to speak, like I've had times, I don't know if this was a negative private review, but I've had, kind of unethical clients trying to bully me around and then threatening me with a negative review and then giving me a negative review publicly that have hurt my gig in the past. And number one is like time heals all wounds. If you stick with Fiverr, like I've found that after a month or so, my stats kind of bounce back. But what you can do is kind of like just a very generic tip I give for a lot of things is try to do some prospecting off Fiverr, drive some traffic, try to find some clients, some referrals yourself to kind of pump up your order volume on Fiverr. You know, Fiverr is a business. They make money from fees. You know, that might earn you some good juju with the Fiverr gods. But other than that, man, you just got to keep doing great work. So sorry to hear that. Oh, it's a buyer who didn't want to pay commercial rights. It's like part of the game when you're hiring a voiceover. I sent the audio watermarked and explained Fiverr's TOS on commercial rights. They explicitly said they were leaving a bad review. Oh man. I'm curious, Shane, have you raised that with Fiverr support? Because that seems like, oh, your success coach indicated that too. Like, can't they do something about that? Because they left a bad review based on their understanding. The only way I would see them not helping you out here is if maybe that wasn't clear, but it's part of Fiverr's TOS. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, Shane. That's terrible. Some people drive me nuts. Anyways, this one seems timely. Political campaign voiceover. This is a great example. Oh, sorry, I got to share my screen. One sec. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm falling apart here. Okay, we're good. So just before I get into the review, this is actually an amazing example of how to create a very targeted and niched down gig. So voiceover is the service he's offering. Voiceover is the broader general gig category. American Male voiceover is niching down, getting a little bit more targeted. And then political campaign voiceover is even further down. I think this, Shane, kudos to you. This is a fantastic example for people to look at of how to create a gig that is tailored and targeted. This is amazing gig title, American Male political campaign voiceover, which like you might be one of, I don't know how many people do this on Fiverr, but that's great. And it's election time is coming up in the US. So yeah, I think this is fantastic. Again, due to the potential of, some licensed music being in these, I'm not going to play this, but I'm going to assume you have a really awesome voice. You've been in radio and television for 30 years. Okay, so when national and global brands like Walmart, FedEx, John Deere, Exxon, and Kroger needed a voice they could trust to tell their story, they got the right voice right now. Oh, music is royalty free. I'll hit that up in a sec. I'd like to help your local, state, or national level Democratic candidate get elected in their current political campaign. I'd also like to convince voters to get on your side of nonpartisan issues as their ballot measure. Wow, this is so specific. I am talking about niching down. Not only has he gone voiceover, American voiceover, political campaign voiceover, it's Democratic candidate specifically. That's interesting. Has your candidate's opponent put out an ad hitting below the belt and you need to counter it fast? I offer fast delivery, guaranteed delivery within 4 hours. Gig extra purchase required. Do you need a fully produced message with music and sound effects? I've got that covered too. Nice. I can cover the full range of styles you need to get your candidate's message across. Warm, confident, authoritative. Wow. Add usage rights. Yeah, he has that listed here. Place your order. Wow. Shane, this is a great gig, man. I feel like you could charge way more for this, but I guess you're just starting out. I mean, This is great. I'm going to just play this. We'll see how it goes.
Joe Biden has led the way with a bold plan that protects our environment while creating new jobs and tougher rules for clean air and water. Elizabeth Warren is a fighter, driven by a deep respect for.
Wow. You got a great voice, man. This is a fantastic gig. Good job, Shane. I don't have any tips for you to improve this other than maybe raising your prices. Like, you've worked with massive brands and you're a pro. I would raise my prices if I were you. I know your gig extras kind of help things get up there, but dude, $10, 75 words, you can do better. Like, you sound like I feel like I've heard your voice on TV before. Really good job. All right. So let's see what else we got. Let's see. All right. Let's do Daniel Leonov. Username, Daniel Leonov. Joined the platform not long ago, so my page is still a bit rough around the edges. Just wonder if there's something important I'm missing. Let's see together. Let me find you. Daniel _ Leonov. I think this has got to be you. All right. Daniel Leonov. Nice picture, man. Let's see here. Hi, I'm Daniel. My services range from doing bass and guitar session work to creating VST, AAX, and AU audio plugins. Just starting with that, man. Give it some love. Like, bass and guitar session, what type of music, what style? Is it rhythm? Is it lead? You use that space in the profile description to get as much as that info there as possible, just so that, you know, people who hit your profile can quickly get an idea of the specific type of music you can help with. But other than that, not bad so far. I like your picture. I think this could use a little work. Let's get into one of your gigs. So, bass. Oh, cool. So I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to share my screen. Bear with me here. So I will record J-Rock bass or anime bass for your track. So this is interesting. This is specific to anime. So that's really cool. So I talk about niching down being a great thing, and I think it is great. I think it's really cool. But just full disclosure, I don't know if people looking specifically for J-Rock bass or anime bass is going to be a lot of people on a site like Fiverr. Like, what I would do is I would keep this as like your targeted gig, but then I would also create a more generalized one to kind of help yourself cast a wider net. That's just me. And then for the subject, I will record. Yeah, that's fine. I think it's good. All right, so let's get into the gig description. Hi, I'm Daniel. I've been a musician for 17 years. Wow. I play electric bass guitar, synth bass, and other instruments. Among fellow musicians, I'm known for creating great sounding recordings on par with major label releases and hit records. I've got years of private education with the best tutors and never stop at improving my skills. Apart from being a bass player, I have background in audio engineering, cool, and know what kind of bass recording best mixes and the best mixers and producers expect. So I guarantee my recordings to match most producers' quality standards and be ready for mix. I'm a big fan of Japanese pop culture, anime, J-rock, J-pop, JRPG. So I have a good idea of what those songs, openings, OSCs should sound like and what playing style they usually require. I have a good collection of basses to play this kind of music and a sweet studio setup to record all this. I'll be excited to work with anime themed producers. This is awesome. Yeah, man. I think as a gig, this is great. It's super targeted. It's very transparent that you are someone who's actually passionate about this, and you know, just reading some of this stuff, like you have multiple guitars, 17 years, familiar with the culture. I'm confident without even hearing you that you're probably great at this. Only other thing I would maybe consider is somewhere here, like I know you've done some bolding, which is okay. Maybe put a short bulleted list of some of this stuff. HQ audio file, mixing and mastering, commercial use, just to like have it there front and center so it's a little accessible for anyone visiting this. But overall, great, man. I like it. All right, peeps. I need to wet my throat here. Getting dry. I'm talking a lot. Okay, so let's see. So Finn is responding to her review. So before request to order, there were issues with direct orders. Yes, I'd forgotten that, and people don't understand what maintenance means. Don't usually charge that much. Oh, okay. Fair. Just providing my feedback. Ochanda, thanks for the presentation. Thanks for being here, man. Happy to see you. Eddie, hello. Hello. Okay, let's do a couple more. Eric Sixto. Let's check it out. Oh, this guy's got a killer look. Let's see here. All right. Eric Sixto is a Fiverr Pro. So I'm going to be careful here because, if you're a pro, man, you're a pro. I don't know how I might be able to help. Oh, this guy's in my world. So he's a Salesforce developer and administrator. So I used to work for Salesforce.com, massive tech company used by probably hundreds of thousands of companies around the world. And it is kind of the gold standard when it comes to customer relationship management and certain marketing tools. So I'm interested to see this because I haven't reviewed a Salesforce dev or administrator yet, but I think it's a super lucrative industry to be in because, as Eric probably knows, companies will pay like $100,000 or more to have a Salesforce administrator on staff. And if they can't afford to have a Salesforce administrator on staff, they'll pay like $250 an hour to hire a Salesforce administrator. So huge. I love that you're doing this. And for anyone else, you can actually learn a lot about Salesforce for free using their free online learning platform called Trailhead. And then there's like paid developer certifications and administrator certifications you can take that I'm sure Eric has taken. So I'm going to go with the description. I feel like this is just going to be great, but let's get into it. Hi, I'm Sixto, a certified Salesforce developer and administrator with 5 years of experience in designing, implementing, and maintaining Salesforce CRM systems. My expertise include Apex, Lightning components, and automations. In addition to my technical expertise, I am also a strong communicator and problem solver, able to work closely with clients to understand their goals and provide effective solutions. I have successfully delivered various projects for clients, and I am committed to providing high quality service. Let me know. Boom. Great. Someone looking for Salesforce dev or admin services, this is what they're looking for. Lightning, implementation, maintenance, changes, building reports. That's what they want. Let's see. Salesforce administrator. Let's look at the Salesforce admin one because that's kind of one that I've been preaching as a great kind of niche to get into. All right. So Again, he's a pro. I like that all of his gigs are branded and look similar. Salesforce administrator. He's got a wicked head of hair. I will be your Salesforce administrator. That's what I would put for the general type of Salesforce gig. And then, of course, you can create other gigs. I will build reports in Salesforce. I will help you create Salesforce dashboards. Those can all be their own gigs. This is fine for this one. Are you looking to optimize and streamline your business processes with Salesforce? Look no further. I'm a Salesforce certified administrator with over 5 years of experience in the field. I offer a wide range of services, including data management, user management, customization, automation, reporting, and analysis. Oh, so he sets up dashboards and stuff with this. Yeah. Yep. Permissions, profiles, standard stuff that a lot of companies have no clue how to do. Anyone watching this who wants to get into Salesforce, there is a ton of business in this. Huge market for people who are Salesforce admins. It's just a matter of finding people. So Eric, I'm going to say the gig is good. It's professional. It's tailored. The one catch with these types of gigs, anything Salesforce admin related, is people looking for Salesforce administrators don't typically turn to Fiverr as their first choice. And I can tell you why, as someone who's worked and sold Salesforce as an account executive. Salesforce works with a pretty vast partner network. So Salesforce as a company doesn't actually implement any of its own software. Maybe it does, but for most clients, they outsource work to partners, companies who founded themselves to be Salesforce professional developers, administrators, and they outsource the work to these companies and have them do all the development, implementation, things like that. So great that you want to sell Salesforce admin and dev services on Fiverr. Seems like you've already started getting orders, which is great. But my recommendation is to also do a little bit of your own business development, your own prospecting, reaching out to Salesforce customers to try to sell them your services yourself and direct them to your gig. I know that you have to pay 20%, but it'll help you train people looking for Salesforce admins to come to Fiverr. They'll refer you to other companies. They'll talk to you to their other CTO friends or sales director friends, whatever, and it'll help you get more traffic. Overall, great gig, man. I think it's fantastic that you're offering Salesforce services on Fiverr. I don't think enough people are because it's super lucrative. Good job, man. Appreciate your attention. You're awesome. You're awesome, dude. I really like your gig. First Salesforce admin gig I have seen. Really, really good. Oh yeah, Daniel. Thanks for the heads up. I don't think I clicked the video, so I try to be very, very careful. Google Tech Creations. Hello, what up? And yeah, generalized gig is a good catch-all, and then tailored is a good strategy. Mayank says, hello, Mike. Mayank here. I'm a Pinterest marketer, but I don't know why I'm not able to rank gig. I did everything, but not able to catch order. Can you please review and give me some? There's no username there. So personally, I've never used Pinterest. So I don't know. And also your username is not included. So we'll move on to the next one. All right. So Eddie, I'll review yours, but just before, yeah, Eric, I worked at Salesforce for about 4 years. I also worked at a Salesforce partner that was a startup where we made an app that we sold on the Salesforce App Exchange. So you would be familiar with the App Exchange as a Salesforce person, but yeah, I did that. I know they refer lots of partners. Yeah, sadly, it is not easy to become one, but you can totally reach out to companies directly. LinkedIn Sales Navigator. You can even use Salesforce to market to lists that you purchase. Salesforce used to have data.com, but now you can do like Zoom Info to collect information. Where there's a will, there's a way, man. All right, so we'll review Eddie's, and then we'll get back to the chat. Eddie Oire. So Eddie, my friend, I joined like a year ago, so I'm still new, so I feel like there's something I'm doing wrong with my gigs. I can't find your gig, man. I spelt it exactly like you spelt it. So we'll go back to the chat. If you want to check that it's spelled correctly, I'll pull it up. Question from Borsalino says, "Hey Mike, what are your thoughts on social media marketing agencies?" Oh, where do I start? So I think marketing agencies are a business. I think marketing on social media is a business. I think there's a need for marketing on social media. I think if you want to help people with social media marketing, it could be a great business. One thing that kind of irks me about the whole community around SMMA is it's become one of these things where, people, how do I say this? People are giving the wrong idea about it. It's not some trick. It's not some gimmick. It's not some hack. You're running a business. So there's a lot of these, I see a lot of stuff on the internet where, they make these claims like make $1 million a month, 100 grand a month. While yes, that's possible with any business, it's kind of ridiculous to position it as if running a social media marketing agency in some way inherently means you're more likely to make an insane amount of money. You're just running a business like any other business. You got to do all the right things. You got to put in the work. You got to work with customers, sign clients. A lot of the information about it that I see online has to do with 100% automating the business and passive income. And if you guys know me, I've been working for a while. I'm in my 30s. I've worked in sales. I've run businesses. There is really no such thing as a 100% on autopilot business that you don't have to lift a finger for. And if there is, that's a red flag for me, right? As a client, I wouldn't want to hire a guy who's going 100% autopilot. And as the guy trying to go 100% autopilot, you got to be aware that when stuff goes wrong, since you're kind of laissez-faire, laid back, running this kind of business that's supposed to print you money, you're going to have a hard time addressing issues quickly, and that's going to hurt your business. But that was my rant. I think social media marketing agencies are legit businesses. I think they can make you a lot of money. I think you just got to be realistic with how you go about it and kind of leverage some common sense. If you're coming into this as someone who's never done a business before, never done any marketing before, you have to set realistic expectations with how long it's going to take you to actually make money in this business and the level of work you're going to need to put in to get there. Nobody makes $1 million a month or $100,000 a month by kicking their feet up and just, following a game plan on autopilot. It's going to take work. It's going to take time. It's going to take sacrifices, but you can definitely do it. And I think social media marketing is definitely something that businesses need. Facebook ads, things like that, really good for finding clients. All right, Eddie, let's give it another shot. There he is, my guy. Eddie. Okay. So Eddie, a rare resource. Fair. I mean, I like that people put stuff here. I like it to be relevant to what you do. I don't know what a rare resource is, but great. And I like that you use the professional headshot. That's really nice. Okay, so unlock your business potential with my expert skills. As a Fiverr seller, I offer unparalleled services in proofreading, copywriting, or of website contents and sales copy. With years of experience and a passion for developing exceptional results, I'm committed to helping your business thrive. From copywriting and proofreading, I have the expertise to take your project to the next level. Let's work together to make your business stand out. I think that's great. But Eddie, I'm noticing a big red flag here for me. Who are you? Like, who's this guy and who's this guy? I'm noticing two different people here. Are these just stock photos? I hope they're not, man. Like, a big part of building trust is building trust. Let's see. Yeah, like there's this guy who's the same guy as the profile. Eddie, which one are you, man? Oh, I'm in a gig. One sec. I got to share my screen. Yeah. So, number one tip I have for you, Eddie, is use a picture of you and be consistent, because this looks like this is a random guy. I don't even know who this is. Is this you? Is this you? I don't know. As a client, I'm getting the feeling that these are just not you. So let me pull up one of your gigs. Let me pull up one of your gigs. All right, so we're gonna go with this one with Mysterious Eddie 2.0. If this is Eddie, I will copyright highly persuasive sales copy that sells like crazy. Okay. Profile, nurture, and convert your leads into real customers with laser-focused persuasion and copywriting techniques. Besides marketing and sales, you need to study how the human mind works to write effective copy that converts. That's why in the past 2 years, while studying marketing and sales, I learned how to exploit and use the right psychological levers and emotional triggers in my copy to increase the number of lead sales conversion of over 1,000 businesses. So, dude, nobody wants to feel like they're hiring someone who's exploiting people by using psychological tricks. That's a tip. And then let me see here. So it says you've helped over 1,000 businesses. I don't know if you work off of Fiverr, but on Fiverr, you only have one review and you charge $7 or $5 per gig. I don't want to be, making assumptions here, but as someone who has hired people on Fiverr, I'll be honest, the vibe I get here, with the different profile pictures, exploiting, 1,000 businesses, and then the price, something's not matching up. Because the way I look at it is, if you're someone who's sold to 1,000 businesses, $7 or $5, way too low of a price. So if you've sold to 1,000 businesses, you need to bump those prices up, because you're way underselling your services if you have 1,000 businesses worth of experience. This stuff here, not a fan. So I know there's this community online that thinks copywriting is all about exploiting and psychological manipulation. That's not what it's about. Like, yeah, there's an element of that, but to be a good copywriter, you got to understand the product you're trying to sell, who you're selling it to, and who you're selling it for. Work backwards from that. Don't work backwards from exploitation, because that's part of the reason some copywriters have a bad rep. So I would reword that. What will you get by choosing to collaborate with me? What will you get by choosing to collaborate with me? High conversion, persuasive copy. Okay, that's fine. High quality sales copy to better exploit. No, don't exploit. No exploit. Remove exploit. Exploit should not be part of a Fiverr gig. Your prospects' pain points and make them do whatever you want. Yeah, dude. I'm going to be honest with you. Reframe how you're selling this. Exploit your prospects. Get them to do whatever you want. That doesn't sound like someone people want to know they're doing business with. That's scary, right? 100% sales-oriented content. You will get 100% customized content that follows a specific structure and uses the right persuasion techniques. Okay, that's good. That's good. Persuasion techniques is good. What copy can I write? Sales pages and landing pages, email marketing campaigns, Facebook ads, website content, product descriptions, sales scripts. I can write in English and French. That's awesome. Not sure how to proceed? You can contact me for a free consultation. Okay, so it gets better. Yeah, so dude, first tip, the exploitation aspect of this gig, you got to reword that. You got to make it more about convincing, persuasion, sales. Exploiting and getting people to do whatever you want is just bad vibes, in my opinion. This is well written, but I think that needs to be modified. And I'm just going to jump back to your profile here. The other thing, super like I love that you used a profile picture here, but then there's a different one here. Be consistent in who you are. If you are Eddie, this guy with the glasses, be Eddie, this guy with the glasses. Hopefully you are actually Eddie, this guy with the glasses. But who is this guy with the glasses? That's a different dude. So like, did you take this? Like, did someone make this for you? Or is that a thumbnail from a different gig that you copied? Whatever it is, hit people with some consistency across this. Front and center should be you if you're going to include yourself in the gigs. Keep that level of consistency. That will really help you build trust. I think your writing is good. I think that, like, let me just open one more here. I'm going to open your landing page gig. So your landing page gig. So again, interesting. So your profile says you're from Kenya, and then this one, it says you're American, and then, you know, you got this guy and this guy. There's just so many versions of you, dude. Just that's the biggest tip here is build trust through, you know, consistency in how you're portraying yourself in these gigs, right? You know, if you're from America, make your profile say you're from America. If you're this guy, make sure that it's this guy in all the thumbnails. Yeah. So I will copyright persuasive emails and landing pages to skyrocket your sales. So tip for a subject line. When you're writing a subject line to appear in search, you want to try to write it in a way that is likely similar to the way people would be searching for this type of service. So I will copyright persuasive emails and landing page to skyrocket your sales is okay. But I would say I will write sales emails, or I will copyright sales emails, or I will write sales landing pages, or I will write landing pages to skyrocket your sales. Write emails, write landing pages, not copyright persuasive emails. I don't think people would be searching for it that way, but you can use copyright or copywriting or copywriter as a keyword in the description if you want. Okay, so welcome. I'm Eddie. I'm a professional American copywriter ready to help your business skyrocket through persuasive sales copy page. So this is a little... the grammar's a little off here. I will help your business skyrocket through persuasive sales page. Oh, never mind. I'm reading things wrong. This is perfect. I'm a professional American copywriter ready to help your business skyrocket through persuasive sales page copy. Perfect. Whether you need a landing page or a sales email, the copy you use matters. Powerful copy equals better conversions. That's true. It's as simple as that. I'll be your sales page copywriter so you can start converting casual leads into paying customers. That's good. What's included? Eye-catching headlines and effective CTAs, copy that triggers emotion and compels to buy, first-class customer service. Why choose me? I'm an American copywriter with years of experience helping businesses thrive. I complete all the market research, craft engaging copy, and proofread for success myself. No outsourcing at all. Just Kevin putting on his thinking cap so you can succeed. Choose the packet. Dude, Eddie. Okay, now this is apparent. You say you're Eddie, but here it says you're Kevin. And it says you don't outsource anything. Dude. Okay, this gig review is done. You got to spend some time. You got to spend some time writing your stuff so it's consistent. There's a lot of copy and pasting happening here. It says you're Eddie in the first line and then you're Kevin in the last line. Dude, I don't want to be mean, but yeah, like, I don't want to be mean, but just be more consistent. If your name is Eddie, your name is Eddie. Say you're Eddie. If it's Kevin, say you're Kevin. If you're the guy from the profile picture, be the guy from the profile picture. It's too all over the place. And as I'm reading this, I'm like, okay, hey, wait a minute. This isn't the guy that I saw on the other page. the work is good, like the writing is good, but now I get the feeling that it's not your work. So that could be a reason you're not getting orders. If these gig descriptions have been copied from other gigs, Fiverr penalizes the copy, not the original. So there's a tip for anyone. I'm sorry that it had to be our friend Eddie here, but you got to be straightforward on these things, because getting orders on a site like Fiverr, you gotta build trust, right? Trust is important if people are going to give you money to do something. Anyways, let's move on here. So Borsellino says, thank you for that. As someone in their early 20s seeking to start a business, I have came across numerous online videos that says SMMA is the ideal business model. So it's not that it's a bad business model. All I'm trying to say is, common sense. I know I make a lot of videos about making money online, Fiverr, and this and that, but I try to be realistic. I try to not tell people, hey, you're going to make $1 million tomorrow, because that's not true. It's not realistic. I want people to succeed, and I'm sure people who make SMMA videos want to succeed. It's a business. If you're starting a business, you got to start a business. You're going to go through the steps of starting a business. There are no shortcuts. That's all I'm going to say. I see a lot of confusing stuff about SMMA online. I think it's a great type of business that gets a bad rep because of that. All right. So Mainax says my message is not appearing there. If you're using links, certain language, it might get automatically blocked by YouTube. So Mainax says I'm a Pinterest marketer. Don't know why I'm not able to rank. We went through this already. Yeah, so let's see. Do we have any more I can go over? Oh, there, we got Mainax. My man, 1 second. I'll pull you up. Mayank. Sorry, I've been mispronouncing your name. Okay. All right, we got him. Let me pull this up. All right. We got our guy, the Pinterest King. I think that is clever. I like it. Fiverr has recently made it so that you could make this little and this username different. So I think it's cool that you're Pinterest King. I think this is funny. You're in the outside and there's just this like floating, this floating analytics page in the sky. Dude, profile picture. I think it would be pretty solid if it was just you, a little tighter on your face. This does nothing. We can't expand this. I don't know what these analytics are. Let's just get those pearly white teeth in the picture, and I think that'll do a lot better for you. All right, so hi there. My name is Mayank, and I'm a Pinterest marketer with over 4 years of experience working with more than 50 brands across various industries. I specialize in creating and executing successful Pinterest marketing strategies that drive engagement and conversions. As a Pinterest expert, I can help you increase your brand's visibility on the platform, grow your followers, and drive traffic to your website. Whether you need help with setting up your Pinterest account, creating engaging pins, or managing your ad campaigns, I'm here to help. My services include Pinterest, account setup, and blank. So this is really good, but it kind of just ends. My services, I guess you ran out of space. I would either, remove this or yeah. Yeah. Good profile description. Yeah, remove this line. It's incomplete. Okay, so let's find which one did he say he can do. I'm a Pinterest marketer. I don't know. I'm not able to rank gig. So So we're going to go with this one because he mentioned he was a Pinterest marketer. So let me pull this up. Okay. All right. So there's the infamous picture floating in the sky, up and up and up, but it goes down at the end. Anywho, I will manage an effective Pinterest ads campaign as your ads king. I think that's pretty funny. So for the subject line, I will manage an effective Pinterest ads campaign. So Pinterest ads campaign could be okay. You could do something like grow your Pinterest account too, just to kind of tap into what people might be searching for, but not bad. This is okay. Is this verifiable? So the reason I ask is this looks incredible. 1 million impressions. It would have me thinking like, why aren't you marketing your Fiverr gig about Pinterest on Pinterest? So again, just about believability here. Maybe put some more context in this about maybe the account, the strategy you used, and how you were able to achieve these results. Because when it's just here, it's kind of just like one of those claims you see online. People are skeptical. But if you explain a little bit more about how those results were accomplished, I think people would be more, okay, so you have it here. Okay. So, but these are different. So this one says impressions, 48,000. I don't know if this is for a different account. And then this one says 1 million. Anyways, yeah, I would put more context in these analytics. Were they for customers? Were they for yourself? That'll help build a lot of trust when people find this gig. Okay. Pinterest is one of the largest growing search engines and social media platforms with over 320 million active monthly users and 89% of people with intent to purchase. Wow. Pinterest ads is a very effective strategy to attract a huge interest-based marketplace to reach out your potential buyers or increase traffic to your website. If you are a blogger, influencer, or run an e-commerce store, if you already know how crucial Pinterest marketing can turn out to be in your business journey, I'm going to be your Pinterest king as I will help you with my rich experience and provide you with proper campaign setup and optimization, create ad groups. Okay, this stuff's good. Typo, strong ROI. You need an N, not an M. Complete analytical report of your ad campaign. So sit back and order now to see the magic of Pinterest King. Message me for custom offers, monthly management. Just send me a text to get monthly SEO management. Okay. So this is good. I like it. I like that you have this stuff listing what you can do. This section here, I would make it a little bit more concise and to the point. It's kind of wordy, kind of rambles. It's kind of like giving all these industry stats, but it should be more about how you can help and why people should hire you, and maybe telegraphing a little bit about your thoughts on who these people are that are looking at this gig, like your assumptions on what they might be looking for, what they might be working on. Overall, pretty good. Yeah, that's it for that one. Okay. Yeah, so just on the topic of shortcuts, there's no shortcut to building a successful business, right? Anytime you're selling something, especially a service-based business, you're selling to another person. There's that element of selling to another person. So you can't automate that, right? If someone has a problem, you got to fix the problem. Someone wants something specific, you got to address it. Anyways, if there's no more questions, I'll give it a few more minutes. I'll pull up the slide deck we had from earlier, just for anyone who missed it. And I'll kind of fly through that one more time. Yeah, so this was the presentation from the beginning of this. We talked about negotiation. Basically, a lot of people think negotiation is about price, right? It's not all about price. Price is actually one of the least compelling reasons to buy. Price is one of the least compelling reasons to buy. So if you're focused just on how cheap you can go and how much people are willing to pay, they're not going to hire you, right? So if you approach the idea of negotiating as if it's about scoring a deal for the highest possible price or preventing a big discount from being given, you're probably already going to lose the negotiation and give up more than you need to. A negotiation that is solely focused on price is likely a negotiation where you haven't done a good enough job showing your potential value to a client. So I know I'm going through this for a second time, but this is for people who missed it at the beginning, and I just wanted to really reiterate this because this will help you guys make more money on Fiverr and sell more. Here's the ideal situation that you want to try to find yourself in every time you're talking with a client. You want to be able to talk about your client's business, their needs, understand why they're hiring you, who the person hiring you is, are they the CEO or they're the assistant. And it's a situation where you're able to collect all the possible information about the client and the potential deal. If you're able to do that and focus on that, the price won't matter as much. It, in some cases, won't matter at all, because if you're getting clients saying, hey, what's your best price, is the first thing they're messaging you, they don't care about your service. They don't understand why they should hire you yet. And it's your job as a freelancer to help them understand why that is. That's what sales is, helping them understand, getting them from zero to the point where they're like, yeah, I need to hire Mike because of this, this, and this. Anyways, these are the things that matter. Screenshot this. I'll go back to the chat, but I just wanted to bring this up again because I think there's some different people in the chat. Your clients' needs matter, their pain points, their reasons for buying, and your ability to explain and address their needs, pain points, and their reason for buying. Anyways, went over that a second time. It's important. That was kind of the main goal of this before we went into the gig reviews. So Mainek, if all good, why I'm not able to capture the order? I need some more advice. Can you please give me advice? So I don't offer free email consultations, unfortunately. I just don't have the time. But dude, it's like what I said. Go over your gig. Give context. Like a lot of those analytics, like some of them people might not believe are actually you doing it, right? And if they were you doing it, why are you not using Pinterest to drive traffic to your Fiverr gigs, right? Bridge the gap there. Also, outbound sales, like actually reaching out to Pinterest accounts and trying to pitch them your services, that'll help you too. Just waiting for your Fiverr gig to get orders will take a lot of time. It takes time, and it's for things like Pinterest, where maybe it's a really broad category. It's going to take more time because there's a lot of people doing it. You can speed up how much time that takes by actually selling. So I hope that helped. Borsolano says, do you think there are any high income skills one should definitely learn? Oh, so that's a tough one to answer. And it really depends on you and what you're good at and what you want to do. So me, I love writing. Writing can be very lucrative. So I focus on writing. But, I made a video about this actually a few weeks ago. Sales in general is probably one of the most lucrative skills anyone can learn. It can help you in any business. It can help you make money when you lose your job. It can help you find new jobs. It can help you start a business. Learning sales has helped change my life in a lot of ways. So I would say that's probably, it's general, it's broad. There's so many types of sales, but it's a skill set that will help you put food on the table forever if you're good at it. Brogan says, do you think the standard ChatGPT is good enough to help copywriters with client work like an assistant? Ooh, that's a big one. So I've made a bunch of videos about ChatGPT. I think it's a cool tool, but I think that if you want to be a copywriter and get paid to write, you need to be good enough to do the writing yourself without an AI assistant, because unless you're already at a point where you're good enough to sell your writing, you won't know how to judge the quality of the work that's being spit out by an AI tool, right? So that makes it a little bit tricky. I think it's a cool tool for thinking of ideas, maybe thinking of project ideas, research for a piece of writing. But I think when it comes to client work, especially myself, I wouldn't feel confident charging someone for something that AI delivered. What would end up happening is I'd probably spend more time than I would have if I just written it myself, because I'd be double checking it, fact checking it, reviewing it, changing it, checking all the sources, which will take a lot of time, and then it would make my time worth less. Good question, though. I have videos on it. I have one where it's ChatGPT versus a pro copywriter, where I write an email, I get ChatGPT to write the same email, and I compare them. I also have a video about, whether ChatGPT is the end of copywriters. You could check that one out too. It's a topic I've been looking at because a lot of people are curious, and, ChatGPT is blowing up lately, and you got to go about it the right way, because you don't want to go all in on AI for your business and then it burns you with a client and hurts your business, right? You got to use it smart. But good question. Any other questions? Oh, one thing I wanted to show you guys, actually. So for those of you who don't already know, I have a blog. It's called the nardiblog.com. If you haven't already, I have a newsletter right here. You just drop your email, send it out, and I'll send you my monthly newsletter. And I post stuff on here, book reviews, blog posts, things like that. You should definitely consider checking it out if you haven't already. So Borsolano says, honestly, that was also my concern. I have considered learning about copywriting, but I have come across many videos that suggest the rise of AI may cause a decline in the need for copywriters. My thoughts on that is it will cause a decline in the need for bad copywriters. Good writers, it's not just, so to be a good writer who makes a lot of money, it's not just about putting words onto a page. A good writer is a good salesperson. You have to understand your clients. You have to understand what they're trying to accomplish. You have to convince them that you're going to write something that aligns with what they're trying to accomplish. Then do that and pitch it to them and show them that it's the best copy that they should use for their project. AI doesn't really do that right now. So while AI can get words onto a page, there's a whole bunch of different elements of doing business with people as a writer that a good writer learns through experience. So I'm not super concerned about AI challenging me, at least in the near future, at my level, because I look at copywriting as a business, not just something where I want AI to spit out copy to make my life easier. I don't know if I'm rambling, but yeah, it'll probably threaten bad writers. But if you want to get into copywriting, your goal should be to be a good writer. That's my thoughts. All right. Do I need to stay online every time on Fiverr to get first order? So no, staying online might help because it shows the little green online indicator that, might prompt someone to message you because they think they'll get a response faster, but you don't absolutely need to. It might help, but you don't absolutely need to if you're not able to. Good question. No problem. That's just my thoughts. I know I take a very polarizing view on AI and copywriting, but we'll see. I could be wrong, but time will tell. Anyways, that is it for this one. I'm going to cut it off here. Thank you guys so much for joining the stream. If you haven't already, over here, enter your email, join the newsletter. It comes out once a month. We're at 2,500 people so far every month getting the newsletter. And I have a blog too. So if you like to also read and not just watch YouTube videos, I make a lot of videos. I review books I've read, stuff like that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have an amazing week. Cheers.